Oh, howdy, my lovers. How are you? It's MJ from Alta Love. I'm currently live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks to those of you who signed up to the live share crew on YouTube. I'm working it out, and I have an intention to actually go live this week. Oh, look, somebody else just signed up as well. How cool. So the live share crew is really to keep the live shares going, but more sustainably for myself. And as any of the world knows, usually when we make an investment, a financial investment, we're like committed to the cause. So this is like long-standing people who've been enjoying the Alta Love TV live sharing and want to keep it going. So I've just basically set one up for secret time, and everyone who has signed up to the live share crew by paying a monthly subscription, be it £5.55 or £11.11, which I really appreciate with the Alta Love community. Some of you guys signed up for 11, some of you 555, and I've got one short. I said to myself, once I got five of you, we'll go live. But there, one of you just signed up, so that's enough, isn't it? A little crew of us to go live and have a noodle sesh, as it were, a have a bush noodle sesh across the dish. And I guess this would be good for the people who donate regular anyway. It just creates a little bit more consistency and a fun, because it's like, ooh, when's she gonna go live? Because it's all in 2-ish, right? So I set myself the time, and then I send you guys the link, and you have like a private link that you can join in on the live sessions. And even if you don't catch the live, if you are subscribed, if you are donating on the regular, you can get the live repeat. So I'll share the private link with you. If you can't always make the live, that's fine. But if you are subscribed, you'll still get the repeat. And people just find them uplifting, ultimately, if I'm being legit. The feedback that I get, other than the trollers and the haters who are like, well, I needn't repeat. I needn't repeat it. So yeah, they're just high vibration chats about paradigm shift, Alta Love energies, really. My unique introverted, intuitive perspective of manifestation. By the way, I've just been pulling cards this whole time, and this is like a major reading, my friends. It's November 6th today, and so far we have a Devil card. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas out of 6, and the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. And the 10 of Swords is in reverse after the Devil card. So that's telling me that we're on the approach and or in the here now. We're like cutting some stuff out. We might be walking away from a situation. There's something in us that absolutely wants to move forward in the intuitive knowing, in as far as like the things turning around in your favor in a positive sense. And yet it's come out of all of this pain, basically. It's come out of this codependency, this underlying addiction to pain or suffering, or not being able to see consciously these toxicities in our lives, and then ultimately addressing them as well from within self. I feel this is very much about like being up at night, not being able to get sleep. Some of you guys might be worried about money and pentacles resources, but this is actually saying the wheel is in your fortune, and the justice is coming up for you. So with Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card right there, with the seated of the Pentacles, I do feel it's like it's only a matter of time before these positive messages start to come your way, especially if you've been through this monumental, quite painful transition, right? Remember, the devil energy can be people as well as, substance abuse, or I often, because it's surrounded by sword energy, the root of our behavioral patterns are almost always linked, or are linked to an underlying mental, emotional, synaptic kind of firing, right? So when we're addressing these kind of codependencies, often we have to address the nature of thought that is connected to them. And oftentimes, in a very peculiar sense, if we can find alignment in accepting that aspect of self, that can release us from the negative burden of it in the first instance, and then eventually release us from the actual behavioral pattern. The self-love card reigns supreme. So this might be a major phase. And again, I'm aware of the astrology. This is going to well be a major phase of self-love, self-nurture. I got to reflect that back. Like, it's intense times, and we might feel like all of our worst fears are coming back. We might feel like all of the most intense suffering patterns, or like this feeling of like, we're never going to get there. We're never going to get there. And hence, when these patterns come back up, if they are codependencies or addictions, or, going back to toxic situations or people or what have you, it can feel like as bad as it's ever been. And yet it's really important with the self-love practices. That's another major arcana. And then another major arcana with the justice. It's like, can we just love ourselves in the pain of the past? Can we just love ourselves in the distortion of our past patterning? Can we just love ourselves even though our projection of this here now moment might seem as bad as ever, and like we're never going to break free, we're never going to rise up out of this energy of toxicity, of sleepless nights, of never really getting our own justice, in as far as desiring to see more harmony and justice in the world, right? And yet there's this Page of Cups, this vital energy coming through. With the Lover's card as well, it's really important to like remind ourselves that self-care doesn't have to look like anything other than being okay about who we are in any given moment. Which okay, and this is like the funny paradox of like really practicing it. It's, we can be kind of in the shits, for lack of better expression. Like, it all might seem lost. It all might feel shit. It might seem like we're never going to break free. It might feel like the worst of the worst. And then, but if we can just actually be like, that's okay. The depth of our healing individually and collectively is so profound. It's beyond the mind. That's part of the sword energy being here, the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Swords. It's so beyond the mind that, the best we can do is trust intuition, have self-love and self-care. And then I'm hearing, you just take a breath and let it go. And it might not be gone right away. It might just be in the nature of our self-belief that we keep going, and then that rises us out of these, because this is a completion. Like, the devil brings about the end of this cycle after a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety. So there's no balance in the devil energy. There's balance in justice. And yet, for us to be co-creators here, part of the, I would say, the new paradigm, or the higher perspective around even an energy like the devil, is like, we can still love the devil. We can still love the aspects of attachment and devil energy, that because it helps us learn via the distortion of pleasure seeking, and like also honoring that there's nothing inherently wrong or bad, unless it is. And that can only be up to one self to discern what is the truth for you. Can we find alignment with even our shittiest aspects? Can we find acceptability in even our shittiest parts of self that we want to deny or shame, i.e., attachments, addictions, compulsions that aren't socially acceptable. And yet, when we can find an actual sense of harmony with that aspect of self, often that's the beginning of the rising out of it, making peace with that, finding creativity. So the Page of Wands popped up underneath this devil and cycle completion, finding the vitality and the passion of your own creativity, you know, getting into it, as it were, like getting into your holy shit balls. Yeah. Getting in. So it's like with this Wheel of Fortune, Justice card, the Chariot and the High Priestess is here. This is telling me this is a lot to do with trusting the intuition as you move forward, because it might not be obvious, and knowing that you're creating a new world, and that there's this sense of waiting for the Pentacles to arrive at the same time, knowing that the justice is the truth of creation. So then, as in believing in your higher ideals, believing in your higher aspects of self to commit to them in this Wheel of Fortune, that things are turning around in your favor, especially with this justice here. And then in particular around sleepless nights and cycles of pain and suffering with the devil energy here, it's like allowing positive messages to come in and through this cycle, and then ultimately your own self-love practice. It's like you're birthing this whole new perspective, you know, this whole new perspective around healing and around devil energy and around so-called codependencies and addictions. But with the self-love, yeah, you're kind of birthing this new perspective that helps you heal and bring about emotional fulfillment and a fiery passion around your creative life. So for a lot of you, you are making manifest this brand new perspective, and I do feel like that's actually bringing love. Interesting. As I say that, it's the Ace of Cups, but it's in the reverse. So I'm saying like bringing love, but for a lot of you, what I can be aware of is that love is on the back burner now. There's no longer, through this birthing of a new perspective after healing all these distortions within self and with love and acceptance, it's like love in the conventional sense is on the back burner. It's not a focus point for you anymore, i.e., I have to find my lover. That's just not a focal point yet. It's come up in the cards, and so it feels like there is a new beginning in love. It's just, it's not in your main point of attraction. It's not going to be obvious. It's going to be something to do with your creative life, and it's possibly going to be so this is interesting because I'm getting like around that cup of love. It's not your main focal point, and it feels like this could challenge your sense of self. So the love coming in could actually challenge your sense of like respectability, or it's like this thing of doing it no matter what, basically. Like if love is there, moving forward with it, it has something to do with your creative life. So attracting love via the creative life, but this is a love that might challenge your sense of status quo, or might challenge it's like an energy that doesn't want to be in the limelight. So it's a very intimate, private connection. And it feels to me like one party in this connection might be in the public eye, and the other lover, like the lover coming in, doesn't have any desire to be in the public eye. So there would appear to be a conflict. And yet with Wheel of Fortune and Justice surrounding it, it does feel like hands of the divine bringing this soulmate union together, bringing this joyful union together. So I'm going to start to close the reading. I'm getting Queen of Cups is something about really finding your strength in this phase, because it feels like there's a lot of opportunity coming in for some of you guys. Opportunity in the best sense, where you just have suddenly like all of these choices to choose from in the direction, in any given direction. You've got new beginnings in a perspective. You've got new passionate beginnings in creative exploration. And there's definitely love here, but it's not a focal point for you. So for some of you, that love might challenge your sense of like, I'm getting this feeling of like the person that you're going to end up falling in love with is going to challenge, like trigger all of your fear around acceptability or being recognized or accepted, or like one of you is very much not desiring being in the public eye and the other is in the public eye, kind of thing. And so there's this almost this mismatch, and yet you fire one another up via the mental. So you very much aligned in the mental and the creative realms, but just not in the realm of, you know, how you're seen doing the work that you're doing. But either way, there's very much a match, and that there's just this sort of putting it on the back burner. But that's why it feels like it creeps in slowly, and there is a lot of opportunity around it. It just warrants you having enough strength to drop the perspectives that don't align for you anymore and move in a direction that totally serves you. Be selfish, I'm hearing. Be selfish. You're creating your own pentacles, right? Nobody's going to bring those pentacles to you. You're coming into your own sovereignty, which is part of the recreating the perspective around the devil, coming into harmony with regard to the so-called impulsions and addictions that you have, and being the Empress, being the full-blown creator of your own reality. That's part of the Empress energy. No one's going to bring pentacles to you. So it's like, don't wait around for some knight in shining armor. And if there is a knight in shining armor, I'd be very, very cautious. Same. And then a King of Pentacles. So any idea of like external people bringing you the reward, or wanting to kind of hook into that reward via you, I don't feel like that's going to be aligned. I feel like you have to stand your own, trust in your creative passion, trust your mind's ability to align itself with the truth of your beingness, and trust that you're coming to completion around suffering patterns. That's ultimately the devil energy. And remember that the suffering can just be born out of the resistance to the what isness of your authenticity and of your being. So there's a daily intuitive reading for my lovers. Again, if you want to join the YouTube live share crew, where we go live for any number of hours. Sometimes I think I've done live shares that are like 2 hours. I've been doing these live shares for quite a while now, like well over a year, and it's been building momentum. And ultimately, the main crew of people who are pretty much there every day. So far, those are the people who are signing up. And then as it happens, it's a nice way to kind of build the community in integrity, because at the same time, any of you guys who do this online game, it would, and this is an aspect of my own construct, but then also there's an element of like, you know, making things more official and charging for money. There's also been like a mass exodus on the YouTube channel. So people who get triggered by money talk, or get triggered by lack and all that kind of stuff, they often disown a YouTuber or bow out of that channel as soon as they're asked to buy into stuff. So it's a really good way for me to continue to grow the channel in my integrity, and then sift through the energies that don't align with the real growth of All to Love, and simply want to feed off of the energy that I share. So there you go. Shall we just tune into the Osho? Let's see what comes up for Osho. So there you go, guys. You can join the live share crew and get access to those live shares. Join us live. It's kind of cool. It feels all like, woo, because I basically give myself a 24-hour notice or more, because it's Wednesday, and I I set up the link, and then I share it with the live share crew. It's that simple. You'll get an email saying this is the time we're going to go live, and this is the link to join in. It's not like a Zoom call, so just so you know, you're not on screen. You can still be invisible, because I think some YouTuber people like that. And you can just comment as per usual. It just sort of makes it a little bit more integral. We're all basically paying to be there, and then we don't have the trolls. Basically, we don't have the troller lovelies. Yeah. So there's some. I'm just pulling some. Dude, ooh, God! Once I get to the Osho reading part of the reading, I'm like this. I so feel this relevant. Ugh. And a great challenge for someone like myself. It's really difficult to slow down. My body has been clearing stuff for quite a while, and I recognize it as the preemptive cursor to more, monumental change. At the same time, the actual slowing down process can be so challenging, for especially this world that's like, keep going, be productive, achieve success, ambition, grow. And like the polarity of that is giving ourselves permission to have down days. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. So that's our cards for the Osho. This is like the spiritual wisdom. The divine guidance for all of this reading is like, trust that you're coming into greater understanding. And this is also about these nine of swords, 10 of swords kind of energy. These are, you could say, karmic lessons. These are situations in life that we're just bound to act out because we need to fucking learn some shit. And then when you're learning it, you're finally like, I get to break free because I learned some fucking lessons about life. And now I get to go fly free with my brothers and my sisters who are already free, and be like, dang, yo, why you be hanging out in that prison for so long? You're like, I don't know, because I didn't know what else to do. And then you kind of slow down and you realize, yay, I'm free. I just get to go play in the water and like enjoy myself on this earth. Like, that's Mother Earth, that's turtle energy for you, big time. And then this card's been popping up a lot. This is the Source card. I relate this card often to the Magician. You guys, so I literally just what? I just hopped over onto the. So I've been actually looking at my. You guys are the frickin' best. I've been looking at my actual Facebook community, and it's usually, this is part of why I'm exploring my YouTube or my live share land is that I want to bring more people over to these live shares. So hey, I am live. Welcome. I know you guys love it, and I want you guys to know that maybe if you got a bit triggered or like, oh no, I have to pay for the live shares, bummer, dude. It's like, here, I'm still live. I'm still like gonna go live whenever I want to, but I'm going to add a service. So for longer noodle sessions, or for like more proper Q&As, or for like, the random collective intuitions where I just pick a topic and blabberoony, those will be part of the live share crew. People who are actually really invested in Alta Love. And you guys know who you are, because like straight up the majority, well, there's like a handful of you, but the people who have bought in are like majority, if not all, have been here for like actually a couple of years, before even Aluna shared a couple of my videos and I got quite a hike in my YouTube subscribership. The people who have already bought into the live share crew are like Fearless Life Tribe members. They've had coaching sessions with me. They've bought the book. They're, you know what I mean? Like, they've bought courses. So those of you who are buying into the live share crew, it's because you're here and feeling the value and wanting that value to keep going. And that's why you know, so I don't want to not give to the people who maybe can't afford to buy a monthly subscription or what have you, but this is my own personal unique way of giving more to the people who invest more. It makes sense, right? And most of you guys who are vibrashe legit awesome in the hot love, you guys have already reflected back to me, like a good handful of you have already, and you haven't signed up. Those of you who have reflected back, it's not even necessarily like you signed up, but you've already been like, I get it. You know, like you feel me as far as like it's okay to not like go live every single day and it's like just stop talking. But oh my gosh, I come over here and I love you guys so much. I wish this, but is emanating, not strings or hooks attached, love for love's sake. That's it. You guys are just amazing. I think I have post-traumatic. Hey, you guys. It's so true, actually. Tree hugger, I pretty much feel you there. Because it hasn't been, I guess that's probably where I get to, right? It's like that element of adding, adding services rather than out of fear. Because it doesn't, I recognize that there's actually a lot less if any troll vibrashe energy that leaks into these live shares, in fairness, which is part of the integrity of the crew anyway. So I'll continue to share, and likely like I'm doing here, I'm doing this live tarot for all y'all. Book is in my cart. Oh my god, hello, what? And then I'm thinking of like, again, the live share crew is just to maybe take more time and like sit with noodles and be more engaged, because sometimes I can do these shares and not be engaged, and like I love being engaged, right? Brutish, enjoy it. I do my best, MC. I do my best, but my goodness, the energies have been remembering that we're the source, and then okay, how do I want to close this? It's like whenever we're taking ourselves to another level, we're going to be going over pattern and pattern and pattern, and then like the darkest before it's done. It's like it's going to get the worst before it breaks. And oftentimes we can even manifest the physical, like what I'm at right now, the actual physical symptoms of the amount of energy that we've been shifting, which again is just the new paradigm perspective. It's always paradoxical. It's like, yeah, just authentic. Yeah, for real. Yeah, God, it's funny. It's funny that energy's not fishing for game, sport, hunt. Ugh. It's like I'm not even sure how to do that. Because if there is that energy outpouring, it doesn't feel healthy. It doesn't feel good to me, you know? And yet, at the same time, navigating from that place of authenticity, right? Is that a lifesaver? Oh, here. It could be a lifesaver, right? Engage, but don't walk the aisle. Yeah, that resonates with me. So we're continually manifesting. We're becoming more consciously aware. This is a community of consciously competent manifestors, i.e. teachers, leaders, but there's no grandiosity. It doesn't look like anything necessarily other than just literally the energies that we emit in our day-to-day reality. And some of the depths of like, the shits basically, and like feeling the bite feeling like the old, like we're never getting there, like it's so monumental, hence the slowing down, hence the time to really look at all these energies from different angles to then keep permissioning. And that's part of the diligence of the work, is like to keep permissioning the self to be free ultimately, you know, regardless of the circumstances, even though we might repeat them and then go over them and feel like they're never going to go, we can always find this quite cool perspective of like, oh yeah, the physical aspect is now manifesting to elevate the self to the next level. Okay. Well, hey you guys, thanks a lot for being here. And just because it's me, I will continue to do these shares for all y'all on occasion, and I've got my link set up for the live share crew, which are again the people finding and or desiring more live share engagement on certain topics, and then we can evolve that and see how it goes. But again, I'm always in the present moment, you know, playing and noodling with things. And so, you know, it works as long as it works. And if it don't, it don't, kind of thing. So we will see. Interesting. I never walked the catwalk. I have, not in like professional sense, but as like a little kid, you know, when you're little, and then in high school we put on these little fashion shows as well. But I'm like not that kind of catwalk. I'm too sexy for the dirt. Too sexy for the, what's that song? Too sexy, it hurts. I want to say something Fred. No said Fred, or you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm gonna go, you guys. I thank you so much. Right said Fred. Right said Fred. I knew one of you guys would have it. I was a kid model too. I was a kid model in like in small town Canada. Like I'm pretty sure it was I'm too sexy for the dude, too sexy for the, yeah, that's right. So mega appreciation for your guys' sharing here. Yeah, I can't nail down anything specific because it's all just on flow. Small town Idaho is very, very similar, obviously. So yeah, I'll continue. I really like the tarot. I still am finding it super fun. So thank you for being here as always. Thank you for the continuing building and supporting me in the work that I'm doing. And yeah, just endeavoring to keep it real. But don't retract. I'm too sexy for, oh, now I'm getting more like, it's like, I'm too sexy for the cards, too sexy for the cards, so sex. Oh my god, now it's time to shush. It's time to go. I'm gonna end the live stream, my lovers. Oh, did you guys like that? Did you guys like the other day how I forgot that I was still live? I didn't get to see the end of that, but I'm sure it was quite hilarious. Anywho, I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Have a beautiful sleep wherever you are. I know you are. I can feel it. I have mega love and appreciation for all y'all. I know you feel it. Represent the hot love vibration, you guys. Big virtual hugs, because I love you. Love you. I'm out. Peace, you guys.